Morning or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see you, even though it's virtual. So I'm not here today. However, we're still going to have music. First things first, if you're in the music classroom, we're not going to sit in the chairs today. Today, we're going to sit on the floor. If you're in your classroom, you can sit wherever your teacher decides for you to sit. But in our music room today, we're going to be sitting on the floor. So when I say go, hold on to your notebooks. When I say go, you step to the right, beside the chair where there's no drum. And then you're going to sit down with your notebooks in your hand. Ready? Go. Step to the right, sit down. Good. Notebooks in your hand. Let's have a quick introduction. So we've been working on our song, what? I Wish. Everybody say, I wish. Yeah, we've been doing I Wish, getting ready for that performance. We will perform this week if we haven't already. However, I needed to be out today, so we're going to do something a little different. We're still going to warm up with the step, step, clap, 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 and a little bit of I Wish, but we're going to focus on something a little different that all fourth graders need. Actually, every musician needs to know. We're going to talk about the orchestra and instrument families. Everyone say orchestra. Good. And actually the different instruments in each instrument family. So today we're going to look at the orchestra. I have a couple videos for you, a couple of things we're going to do. But first, let's simply warm up. Everybody, show me good posture, sit up straight, take a big breath in, out. Breathe in, out. Breathe in. Give me a great sound, me. Breathe in. Breathe in. Me first, breathe in. Good, good, good. Take a big breath. Let's do some humming. Me. Breathe. Keep going. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Do, so, do, do, do. Good, me first. Clap, clap, clap. Do that. Clap, 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 clap. Pat, 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 pat. Pat, pat, step. Step, step, clap, clap. Clap, 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 pat, 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 pat. Good. Everybody stand up. Listen and remember. Listen and remember. Don't move yet. We have step, step, clap, clap, clap. Step, step, clap, clap, clap. Step, step, clap. Don't move. Step, step, clap, clap, clap. Do you remember that? Okay. We're going to do that. Remember, we're going to go step, step, clap, 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 then back. Step, clap, 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 then forward. Step, clap, 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 then back. Step, clap, clap, clap. Are you ready? So go forward, then back, then forward, then back. Are you ready? Say it strong, say it loud. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, let's go. Step, step, clap, clap, clap. Back, step, clap, clap, clap. Forward, step, clap, clap, clap. Back, step, clap, clap, clap. Okay, if you're in your classroom, get up out that chair. We gotta be moving. Let's do it one more time. Then we're gonna go straight to I Wish. Are you ready? 1, 4 times, go to I Wish. 2, ready, let's go. Step, step, clap, clap, clap. Backward, step, clap, clap, clap. Step, step, clap, clap, clap. Get ready, sit down, I wish, let's go. I wish that I had a little house with a mat. Say it louder. With a clock going talk in the corner of the room, with the kettle in the cupboard. Do it again, I wish. With the mat, with the clock, with the kettle in the cupboard, and a big French broom. Give me pat, pat, cross, cross, pat, pat, cross, cross, pat, pat. Say the words, pat, pat, cross, cross, pat, pat, cross, cross, pat, spin around. Oh, we got step, step, clap, 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 step, step, clap, 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 step, step, clap, 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 step, step. Do it again. Step, step, clap, 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 step, step, clap, 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 step, step, clap, clap, clap. 1, 2, 3, and stop. All right, guys, that's I Wish. We're going to perform that this week. We're going to perform it this week. Okay, let's put the keyboard to the side for a second. That doesn't look great, so let's put that down on the floor. Let's look at our lesson for the day, the instruments of the orchestra. Okay, here we go. So, first things first, pick up your notebooks. You're going to need them. You're going to need them. All right, guys. So our objective, look here. Our lesson objective is, actually, let's read this together, starting with students will. Ready? Go. Students will identify the instruments of the orchestra and how each instrument family creates sound. Or I should say how each instrument creates its sound. Okay. So these are some vocabulary words that you need to know. Well, for a second, let's digest that for a second. So our goal today is to identify the instruments of the orchestra, right? So you need to know the instruments that make up an orchestra and how each instrument family creates sound. You got it? Turn to someone and tell them, what are we going to do today? I'm going to give you about 10 seconds, 20 seconds. What are we doing today? Ready? Go. Keep your distance. And don't scream. Clap for it. All right, let's move on. So these are some words that you need to know. Everyone say orchestra. If you have a couple minutes, you can write this in your vocabulary section, but I am moving on. An orchestra is a group, a performing group made up of woodwinds, brass, strings, and percussion instruments. It's a performing ensemble. An ensemble is a group of performers that participate together. An orchestra is a form of an ensemble. This is 4th grade, so I know you guys are working on sound and vibrations in your classroom. So this is a vocabulary word that we need. Everyone say sound. Good. Normally, I would ask you, what is sound? So I'm going to tell you because I'm online. It's vibrations that travel through the air that can be heard when it reaches your ear. Now, there's a whole lot more to it because it can be through the air or any type of medium, but we're just keeping it through the air. The main word is vibrations. Everybody say vibrations. Sound is created through vibrations, and everything that creates a sound is vibrating somehow. Oh, yeah. Finally, we have instrument families. Say instrument families. Everyone read that. Ready? Go. So instrument families, it's a group of several different instruments, but that are related somehow, size, type, tone. Okay, so we're going to look at the different instruments in each instrument family. Let's keep rolling, got to go faster. So these are the 4 instrument families. You should know that by now. We have the what, and the, and the. Good. Our strings, say strings, woodwinds, brass, say brass, and say percussion. Great. The orchestra is made up of 4 different families. Let me tell you the difference because people sometimes get orchestras and bands confused. An orchestra simply has string instruments. A band does not have string instruments. They do have woodwinds, brass, and percussion, but the orchestra is unique because it has strings. The band does not have string instruments. Okay. All right. Let's keep moving. Hey, let's dig into how we're going to do this activity. Everyone take your notebooks and pencils and open to the journal section of your notebook. Here's what I want you to do. First, I want you to draw the instrument families chart. So At the top of the page, write instrument families. Create 4 boxes. Make a big line in the middle of the paper and a line going across, a vertical line in the middle and a horizontal line in the middle, splitting the page in the middle. And create 4 different categories: strings, woodwinds, brass, and percussion. That's your instrument families chart. As you listen and watch the video, I want you to name the instruments in each of the instrument families. And I also want you to tell me how each instrument family creates sound. And then save this sheet for later because we'll discuss it at a later date, either at the end of class or when I come back the next time. Okay? All right, guys, let's get busy. Here's a video on the orchestra. Watch, but do not talk, and take notes. Take notes as you're watching. Once again, let me review that once again. I want you to write down the instruments in each family and then tell me, beside the name, how each instrument creates its sound. If you need more time creating this chart, the substitute or your teacher can pause the video right now to create the chart. Go. Okay, let's get busy. All right, guys, do not talk. Let's watch our video and take notes.
Ah, the orchestra. It's just a group of musicians getting together to make music. How do they make these instruments work? Which instruments are related and why? To start, we can break the instruments into 4 families. Each family is grouped by the way the instrument produces vibration.
Okay.
This kind of classification gives us the string family, the woodwind family, the brass family, and the percussion family.
Okay, so those are 4 instrument families. Remember, these are instruments that are similar and they're grouped together because of their size and type. You should already have those instrument families on your chart. Let's start over.
Ah, the orchestra. How do they make these instruments work? It's just a group of musicians getting together.
Let's go here. Sorry about that.
Ah, the orchestra. It's just a group of musicians getting together to make music. How do they make these instruments work? Which instruments are related and why? To start, we can break the instruments into 4 families. Each family is grouped by the way the instrument produces vibration. This kind of classification gives us the string family, the woodwind family, the brass family, and the percussion family. When you think of the orchestra, you most likely think of the violin, or at least some sort of string instrument. This is probably because they make up the majority of the instruments in the orchestra, so good thinking. All string instruments use string vibration to produce sound.
Okay, if you see that, all string instruments use string vibration. Everyone say string vibration. So that's what you need to write right now. String vibration.
Each family is grouped by the majority of the instruments in the orchestra, so good thinking. All string instruments use string vibration to produce sound. So it makes sense that they are called the string family. There are 4 main string instruments. These are the violin, the viola, the cello, and the bass.
Okay, copy that. Violin, viola, cello, and bass. You don't need to draw the pictures. But string vibrations. These instruments create their sound through string vibrations. Let's keep rolling.
Each of these instruments can be plucked or bowed. As you can see here, the main difference between the four instruments is their size. As with any instrument, the smaller it is, the higher pitches it plays. And the larger the instrument is, the lower pitches it plays. A very common arrangement would have the violins playing the melody, and the violas, cellos, and basses playing supporting roles. This is not always the case, but it's important to know.
So let's review that. Let's recap that. We have the strings family, and remember, the smaller the instrument, the higher the pitch. The bigger the instrument, the lower the pitch. So which one would be the highest? Would be the violin. What would be the lowest? The big old bass.
These instruments are some of the oldest instruments made for the modern orchestra, and some early orchestral music is even written solely for this section. Lastly, the harp and the piano are sometimes included in the string family, just depending on the time period when the music was being played. The next largest section of the orchestra is usually the woodwind family.
Good, we got the woodwinds.
Most woodwind instruments use a small piece of wood called a reed to produce their vibration. The reed vibrates when air is blown across it.
Okay, so woodwinds use reed vibrations. That's how they produce their sound. Reed vibrations.
This is how instruments like the clarinet work. Saxophones also use a reed. This is why they are classified as a woodwind and not a brass instrument. As far as instruments go, saxophones are fairly new, having only been created in the mid-1840s. Because of this, there aren't really many orchestral pieces that include saxophone. Some woodwind instruments have a reed that has two parts called a double reed. Instruments like the oboe and the bassoon use a double reed. In this case, both reeds vibrate and tend to create a nasal sound. There's also one woodwind which uses just the wind part. It's the flute. The flute does not have a reed. Instead, the player just blows across a hole in the instrument, much like you would do if you were blowing across the top of a pop bottle. You might have noticed that this family has all the instruments with a ton of buttons, or keys as they're actually called, on them. One of the most challenging parts of playing a woodwind instrument is just knowing which keys to press down and getting your fingers to the right spots without getting tangled. Once mastered, a woodwind player can play quickly with ease, as you can hear in Bach's Partita for Flute. In the orchestra, the higher-pitched woodwinds like flute and oboe tend to play the melody, while lower-pitched woodwinds like bassoon tend to play supporting harmonic parts.
You should be writing instruments down.
It's on to the brass family. The brass family gets its name from the shiny material that its instruments are made from. All brass instruments use the player's lip vibration and air to make sound.
So we have lip vibration and air. I'm a trumpet player as well as a hand percussionist. So I grew up playing trumpet, started when I was 9 years old. I played violin when I was 7, started playing trumpet when I was 9. So I've been doing that, developing my muscles. So these brass instruments use lip vibrations and air. Let's keep going.
The player's lips vibrate rapidly against a metal mouthpiece, and the buzzing sound produced bounces and echoes its way through the instrument to make a tone you're probably familiar with. Unlike the woodwind instruments, brass instruments have few keys. In fact, the trombone doesn't have any keys. It just uses a slide. Of course, the brass player does have more than just 3 notes available to them through pressing the keys. Brass players also change notes through changing the shape of their lips, where tenser lips play higher pitches and looser lips play lower pitches.
Loose lips sink ships.
If you've heard taps, you've heard a brass player just using their lips to change notes. The 5 main brass instruments in the orchestra are the trumpet, the horn, the trombone, the euphonium, and the tuba.
So write the instruments. We have 5 different instruments: trumpet, euphonium, horn, trombone, and tuba.
In the orchestra, trumpets and horns occasionally play the melody, but much of the brass section's job is to play supporting notes. All the way in the back of the orchestra, we have the percussion family, known for its loud banging and crashing. The percussion family has instruments that are struck or shaken to make their vibrations.
Okay, so how do the percussionists make their vibrations? They're struck or shaken. I know the instruments are going by pretty fast, guys, so just write what you can. Write in as many instruments as you can. We're going to recap it when it's over. Don't worry.
Early orchestras didn't have much percussion and usually just had low-pitched drums called timpani or kettle drums to accompany the melody. Other drums like the snare drum and the bass drum were added later. And apparently, composers really like percussion instruments because they haven't stopped adding to the long list of available sounds. Aside from drums, the percussion family includes cymbals, auxiliary percussion like the tambourine, triangle, shakers, or maracas.
There's more.
And mallet instruments like bells, xylophone, and marimba. Most of the time, percussion instruments play a supporting role, though bells and xylophone occasionally get the melody. You now know that the 4 families of the orchestra are the string, woodwind, brass, and percussion families. The string family uses string vibration, the woodwind family uses reed and air vibration, the brass family uses lip vibration, and the percussion family contains instruments that are struck or shaken to make vibration.
Okay, did you get that? All right. Let's quickly review and see how you did. So, first of all, thank you. Give yourselves a hand for watching. It's important to know about the orchestra. We're going to listen to a lot of pieces from the orchestra, and I want you guys to also be familiar with what you're watching when we do our virtual concert. So we're going to learn about the orchestra. So let's look at your sheet. The first family is the strings family. Everybody say strings family. So we know it's the largest family in the orchestra. There are 4 different types of instruments. It can be bowed or plucked, and it makes it sound through string vibrations. When I say go, turn to someone and compare your section, your string section, to see what instruments that you guys got. If there's something that you don't have, write it in there when you talk to them. Don't yell and scream. Do not get up. Keep your distance, but turn and talk to somebody about the strings family. What instruments are there in the strings family? Go. Boom. Okay, look at me. All right, so let's double check. We have the violin, say violin, viola, cello, and say bass. Well, string bass, say string bass, but we just call it the bass. Good. And remember the rule. The bigger the instrument, the lower the sound. The smaller the instrument, the higher the pitch or the sound. Meaning the smaller the instrument, those vibrations are going really, really fast. tight. Fast vibrations, it's making the pitch higher. Lower or bigger instruments create slower vibrations, which is a low pitch. Good, great, wonderful. We love it. So there's your strings family. I hope you got those. Let's quickly go to the woodwind family. Turn to someone and tell them about the woodwinds. By the way, the woodwinds use reed vibrations. Say reed vibrations. Good. Talk about the woodwind family. Go. What instruments are there? Clap for it. All right. Yes. I hope you said the flute, clarinet, oboe, bassoon. There's also the English horn, bass clarinet. The woodwind family uses reed vibrations and it carries the melody of the orchestra many, many times. Big time supporting melody, but still big part of the melody. The next is the brass. Everybody say brass family. My favorite. The brass family creates its sound through what? Everybody read these. Say lip vibrations. Yeah, there's 4 members. It's commonly it's an ancestor of the animal horn. So you take the horn and you blow through your lips. What are the brass instruments? They're trumpet, French horn, trombone, tuba, and euphonium. Yeah, I put tuba and euphonium on the same line because a lot of times they get used interchangeably. Euphonium is just a little smaller than the tuba. Okay. Finally, we have the percussion. Everybody say percussion. We have the percussion family. Percussion can be pitched, meaning there is melody, and it can be unpitched, meaning there's no melody, but you still have sound through vibrations. And those vibrations are created by striking it, shaking it, or scraping it. What percussion instruments do you know? Turn to your partner and talk to them about the percussion instruments. Ready? Go. Clap for it. All right. So we have some pitched instruments, xylophone or bells. We have the piano. Let's see what that sounds like. Wow. Was that Mr. Makia playing? Maybe. He's right there. So those are your pitch instruments, and harp is also a percussion instrument. It's a string instrument, excuse me. Yeah. But look, we also have the unpitched. We have cymbals, bongos, timpani, sleigh bell. These are all the different types of pitched and unpitched percussion instruments. Piano, xylophone. Let's take harp out of there. Mr. Strawbridge was just kind of tired. Been working a lot. Drums, maracas, timpani, tambourine, triangle, cymbals. Basically, your percussion unpitched are going to be shakers, woods, metals, and membranes or skins. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those are our 4 instrument families. Say strings, woodwind, brass, and percussion. Good. You should have this chart filled out. Hold on to it, and we'll look at it again later. All right, guys, that's all for us today. You guys have to get ready to leave the classroom or get back to your normal class. I will be back for your next class, and I will see you soon. If you're leaving now, if you're a sub, you turn off the video, and we'll see you later. If you're in the classroom, if you're a teacher, you want a bonus, I do have a 5-minute small video with the orchestra if you want to stay on and you guys can watch it some more. I'm just going to let it play and you guys can enjoy. Otherwise, you should already be gone.
Zen, 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 a violin with mournful moan and silken tone. Itself alone comes one trombone. Gliding, sliding, high notes go low. One trombone is played solo. Next, a trumpet comes along and sings and stings its swinging song. It joins trombone, no more alone, and one and two-o, they're a duo. Fine French horn, its valves all oiled, bright and brassy, loops all coiled, golden yellow joins its fellows. Two, now three-o, what a trio! Now a mellow friend, the cello, neck extended, bows a hello. In pin set upon the floor, it makes up a quartet, that's four. And soaring high and moving in, with zin, 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 a violin, stroking strings that come alive, now quintet. Let's count them. 5. Flute, that sends our soul a shiver. Flute, that slender silver sliver. A place among the set it picks to make a young sextet. That's 6.
Thanks, baby.
With steely keys that softly click, its breezy notes so darkly slick. A sleek, black, woody clarinet is number 7, now septet. Gleeful, bleating, sobbing, pleading, through its throbbing double reading, oboe, please don't hesitate. Come, make it an octet. That's 8. That lazy clown, the big bassoon. He plays low down.
Lazy.
We're laughing soon. Here, Grumpy, get your place in line and give us a nonette. That's 9. The harp descends with angels' wings, a heaven's blend through magic strings, and when it joins the others, then, behold, a chamber group of 10. The orchestra comes in the hall. They're on the stage. We see them all. The cello, harp, and clarinet. The trumpet, whom we've also met.
Yeah, we have.
The oboe, flute, and big bassoon, all eager to get started soon. Trombone, French horn, and violin, all poised and ready. Now, begin. The strings all soar, the reeds implore, the brasses roar with notes galore. It's music that we all adore. It's what we go to concerts for. The minutes fly, the music ends, and so goodbye to our new friends. But when they've bowed and left the floor, if we clap loud and shout, encore, they may come out and play once more. and that would give us great delight before we say a late good night. The end.
Okay, that's it. See you again soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye. We'll talk more about the orchestra and we'll go over those documents. All right, the page that you wrote. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.